So you're watching this video right now because your content, even though it might be getting you hundreds of thousands of views, or it's getting you just views, it's not making you any money, and you don't know why. And that's completely normal. I was exactly in your position, dude. Like, I remember I was posting like content every single day and I was not getting any appointments, no nothing from it at all. And I wasn't making money. And now that's changed. And that's because I focus on everything pre-production, okay? So this video is gonna talk to you exactly about one thing, okay? So $16,000 in the month of July, okay? I had launched my consulting offer at the beginning of July. I've been doing consulting for the last 2.5 years, but I recently launched this specific offer mostly for people in info. Now, you might be an agency owner. If you're a coach as well, this is very useful for you. And I'm gonna show you how I did this. And by the way, I don't even have like 2,000 followers. But the biggest thing is that my reels, look at this, my reels don't even get that many views. My reels don't get that many views. You probably get way more views than I do, but I'm making more money. And the reason why is because I understand how to make content that converts. And this is what this video is gonna be about. And the biggest thing that we're gonna dive in right now, okay, is gonna be everything pre-production. So everything from ideation to formats, to planning, to communication and scripting, okay? Now, there's so many different aspects and I wanna talk to you about it, but the first thing we need to understand is first understand that views does not get you money, okay? And the reason why is this, okay? Even if you go look at my page right now, okay, you can literally see one of my reels has gotten me, I think something like 150K views, okay, for example, something like that. It got me like 150 follows. But guess what? It got me 0 clients. Now, even if this was before I had launched my consulting offer, the point is that even those 150 followers are not qualified people. And the reason why is because views does not equal money. And the reason why is because I could be speaking about a viral topic that everybody wants to talk about, something super broad, okay? And people can relate with that a lot, but it doesn't necessarily provide value for my specific ICP. So the first thing you need to understand is that views does not equal money, okay? That's the first thing you need to understand. Now, the biggest thing that we need to work on is reverse engineering. We need to reverse engineer how we're actually gonna go about getting money, okay? So obviously, what you want in the end is book calls. Everybody wants book calls because once you get to the call, you can close someone, okay? So we now understand that the final goal that we want is calls. And how do you get a calls is by getting booked, what? Appointments, okay. So we now understand that we're looking for booked appointments. How do you actually go about getting booked appointments? Okay, well, you need to have convo in the DMs. Do you see how we're reverse engineering this right now? This is exactly what we're gonna do for every single problem that we solve. We're gonna reverse engineer what is the thing that we're actually looking for and how can we reverse track that to actually get what we want. So we want closing calls, we want to close. So to close, you have to be on a call. To get on a call, you have to get appointments. To get appointments, you need convo in the DMs and good convos, which is basically just working on your setting, okay? But let's keep it simple. Okay, convo in the DMs. How do you get convo in the DMs? Well, there's 2 or 3 major ways that you can get convo in the DMs. And these are the most powerful ways, okay? The first one is from comments. Now, okay, the second one is from follows. And the third one, which is super underrated, is consistent likes, okay? You probably have people, if I look through your reels right now, I can probably find one person who's been liking the last 5 reels and you just haven't reached out to them. So let's take a step back here because even if you have one person that's liking the 5 reels, whatever, right now your biggest problem is that you don't know how to make content that converts, okay? So this might not actually be the case for you. Let's reverse engineer this, okay? Comments. How do you actually go about getting comments on your reels? And it's not just random comments, because you can get comments of saying like, LOL is so funny, or whatever it is, oh LARP, whatever. Like, it could be a bunch of stupid stuff, right? But the biggest thing that you actually want is this, okay? From the comments, you want qualified comments. These are called qualified comments, okay? Now, let's take a look at this here, okay? You want qualified comments. The way you get qualified comments is by making reels that are what? CTA driven. CTA driven reels. Now, there's two ways to do the CTA-driven reel. One of them is you mention the CTA-driven reel at the beginning or at the end. And essentially, a CTA-driven reel is a reel where, okay, what is a CTA-driven reel? Let's talk about this for a second. A CTA-driven reel is a reel where the sole purpose for you, because we first need to understand something, okay? Let's try to understand something here. The way the world works, and especially in info, is that what is the biggest problem with info? The biggest problem with info is trust. People don't trust you. People think you just want their money. How do you actually build trust? You build trust by giving first before asking. That's the biggest thing, okay? You want to give before you ask. Giving is also called value. So you now understand that the first thing you need to do in the DMs is provide value for people. Somebody who's never seen you before, why would they pay you money? Why would they trust you? They won't trust you. Even if you make a really good reel talking about something very valuable, they're not just gonna hand you their credit card. You have to help them. And everybody right now has pain points in their business, okay? And for example, if you're a fitness coach, somebody's watching your content has a pain. Every single person that you talk to has a pain. If you're a fucking content agency owner and you help people make content that converts, you have a pain. Right now you have a pain. What is your pain? For example, for me, if I'm talking to coaches, right? Or agency owners or people who want to make money on Instagram using the Instagram funnel, what are one of the problems that they have right now? They have a pain. What is the pain? The pain is don't know how to make content that converts. So I'm making this video right now, providing the utmost value for you before I even ask you for anything. I don't want you to give me anything. I just want to help you right now. This is the concept you need to understand. Because if you understand this concept, not only will you make the most money possible, but people will want to work with you because they can feel that you're just trying to provide value up front. So knowing that the trust in the space that you're in, the info space, okay? And you need to understand that you first need to provide value for free, okay? Provide value for free. Okay, why? Because if you, okay, I'll give you an example. Why do people say, when you go, let's say for animals, this is a crazy example. Why do people say, don't feed the animal? Let me explain to you something about dependency. Okay? Something about dependency that you need to understand, okay? The way humans are wired psychologically is we depend on other people, psychologically, emotionally, financially, right? So knowing that people depend on other people, how do you actually go about creating dependency? Because sales and you fulfilling for somebody is essentially creating dependency. You're creating them to be dependent on you to help them get an outcome. If you right now want to get content that converts and make more money with content, I first need to create dependency. How do I create dependency? By providing the utmost value and helping you solve one of your problems. Let me give you the biggest example of this in real world, and just to show you that this is a real thing, I'm going to show you with the utmost biological example ever, okay? Let's say you have a cottage. Look at this beautiful cottage that I'm making for us. And you have a fucking window and a door, okay? Now, look at this here. You're chilling on your fucking balcony right here, okay? This is your balcony and you have the steps down here. Okay, boom. Now, you have a fucking chair or something. Okay, you're chilling here. Damn, this drawing is actually pretty good, boys. Okay, so you're chilling on this fucking chair. And what do you do? Okay, now I'll give you an example. You know that there's fucking Bambis in nature. So they're like this, okay? How do they even look like? They look like this. Okay, that's a shit fucking drawing. But the point is that, okay, first identify the need. What is the need? Okay, the need is to be fed. So a lot of these animals come to humans because we give it to them. Now, on the first day, this fucking animal is skeptical every time, okay? I want you to picture this. We've all done this in our lives, okay? A pigeon, a fucking Bambi, a fucking deer, a fucking whatever, a dog. At first, they're super skeptical. They're super fucking skeptical. Why are they super fucking skeptical? They're skeptical because they don't trust you. They think, what do they think? They think you're just gonna try to fucking eat them and kill them. Because why? Because this guy literally saw one of his boys get fucking slammed by this one guy with a shotgun and he's dead, and that's one of his boys, and they were hunting, and now he's gone off the fucking ranks. Okay? I know this is a crazy example, but I want you to explain this. So I want you to treat customers the same way you would think about an animal when you're trying to give them food, okay? You have the food, okay? You have the fucking food. You're chilling here, and you have a bucket with food, and there's fucking berries inside the bucket, okay? Even if you have something that could generally help their need, they're not just gonna come and be all friendly, oh yeah, let's take it, whatever. No, they're gonna be super skeptical at first. Why? Because everybody's on the defense mode. That's psychology. Defense mechanisms, okay? That's very important for you to understand. So understanding this, okay, you now need to lower their guard. Okay, how do you lower someone's guard? Is by providing value for free. So imagine you left this outside and you went back into the house. You will go against what everybody else does. So he's gonna get a little curious. He's gonna come and he's gonna take a bite. Now that creates what? That creates dependency. You've now solved one of his problems. He was fucking hungry. He could have went in nature, but he came to you for food, and that now creates dependency. And dependency also creates trust, okay? Dependency creates trust. That's how fucking psychology works, okay? So understanding that dependency creates trust, I want you to now treat reels the same way as you have a bunch of animals in nature, and they're different species, okay? And they all want food. You have the food to help them, but everyone is fucking skeptical. I want you to treat it the same way. You don't go running after the fucking animal. He's gonna run away. You keep the food there. You say, look, you can have the food if you want, and you dip, for example. And then once they eat the food one time, they go back into the forest. Well, guess what's gonna happen the next time he gets hungry? You think he's gonna go in the forest, or you think he's gonna come back to the source? He's gonna come back to the source. That is what we wanna create through our content, is fucking dependency. Why? Because I just explained it to you. Humans need other humans. For example, right now you might be financially dependent on someone. You might be financially dependent on a job that you're working a 9 to 5. You might be financially dependent on a partner, on your parents still. You might be emotionally dependent on a girlfriend. You might be emotionally dependent on your boyfriend. Emotional dependency, psychological dependency, and financial dependency. These are real things, and humans need other humans. This is not just me talking about this randomly. This is literally that. So when I make reels and I provide value up front, it's not just me providing value up front because I think it's the best way to do it. It's me understanding the animal concept, that you need to create dependency first to build trust, okay? And it's not evil, it's just understanding the psychology of humans. So we first want to understand that the first thing that you want to do is give value before asking. So that is what I want you to do. I want you to create CTA driven reels, okay? Now, in those CTA driven reels, what do you actually do, okay? I want you to give out a resource. That could be a Google Doc. Let's say inside of your coaching program, okay? Let's take a fitness coach right here, okay? Fitness coach, okay? Fitness coach, okay? Let's say fitness coach. The pain that the people have is they don't know how to create a diet plan, okay? They have no idea on how to be clear on the diet. In your program, you might have a fucking diet plan. A diet plan structure about one specific thing within that pain, okay? For example, okay? I want you to make a reel talking about that pain that they have, okay? Talking about that diet pain. In the reel, the only thing you talk about is diet, okay? Now this comes down to messaging as well, okay? Now if you notice in my content, I'm gonna show you my exact content. What is my messaging in my content? Now, what is messaging? Messaging is the core position or the core beliefs or the core things that you talk about in your content that you actually help people solve. For me, it's two things. Okay? Now, if you look at my content, literally the only two things I talk about is positioning and acquisition. Now, one thing is important. I did touch on a bit of sales, but guess what? Guess why? I was touching on and I was testing my messaging at the beginning. But I've now found that my main and core messaging is positioning and acquisition. What is this video about? This video is about acquisition. Now, what specifically about acquisition? How to create content that converts. The last video, how to position yourself as authority. Acquisition, how I fucking generate 16K with 2,000 followers. Do you see that? This is my messaging. So you now understand that you need to create specific messaging. Now, if you take a look here, what the fuck? Now, if you take a look here, okay? A Google Doc, okay? Now, let's say in your messaging as a fitness coach, you understand that the two biggest problems people have as a fitness coach, okay? The two biggest problems people have is diet and training. In your reels going forward, I just want you to talk about diet and fucking training. That's it. I don't want you to talk about fucking benching, like, or that goes into training, apologies. I don't want you to talk about sleep. I don't want you to talk about recovery. For example, right? I just want you to talk about fucking diet and training. That's it. That's it. That's all you talk about. So in that, knowing that's one of your biggest pain points is diet, well, I want you to talk about something specific about diet. What is something specific about diet, okay? Well, you can talk about fucking hydration. That's one thing specific about diet. You're probably not hydrated. And you have a fucking SOP on exactly how many times per day you need to drink water or something like this, right? You have an SOP breaking down the exact, according to your BMI or whatever it is, on how to always stay hydrated. This is, and you can implement this into your Google Calendar, so you come up with an SOP. That reel, all you do in that reel is this. And you come up with a hook. You say, the reason why, for example, we're coming up with this on the spot. I'm just showing you that I understand what I'm saying, okay? For example, if you understand that one of the biggest pain points is diet, you say, and you're talking about hydration, and one of the main pain points about diet is that you want to lose weight, and you can say that, look, did you actually know that the reason why you're not getting what you want to get to in your fitness journey right now is because you're actually not even hydrated. Nothing to do with the gym, nothing to do with whatever. What if I just told you that it's all about water? At the end of this video, I want you to comment hydration, and I'm gonna send you a free Google Calendar implementation or a free Google Doc breaking down the exact hydration formula that you need for your specific goal. If you're looking to lose weight, if you're looking to gain weight, if you're on creatine, I will provide this for the end of this video. And then you get into the body and you talk about the value, okay? So a CTA driven reel, the way it works, okay? A CTA driven reel is like this, okay? You first start with a hook. Now, there's two types of hooks. There's the on-screen hook, text on screen, which depending on the format, okay? Now, that's the biggest thing, okay? You want to find the right formats that work. Now, there's different types of formats. There are different types of formats that work, okay? Now, you need to understand something, okay? Now, depending on your market, and look at this, guys. This is literally what I teach people inside of my program, okay? For example, okay? Are you in a hot market? Are you in a warm market? Or are you in a cold market, okay? Now, for example, what is the best visual format? Now, you have to test this, okay? So you literally, what you do in your content is you nail down your messaging, okay? What are the two, probably one or two biggest things to talk about, okay? You nail this down. We talk about diet and you talk about fucking training. That's it. Those are the only two things, boom. Now, I want you to talk about diet and training in a bunch of different ways. Visual formats. You can do a talking head, which is basically you with the camera like this, you making a reel like this. This is one format, for example, okay? Boom, random example. You can do this, okay? Talking head. What's another one you can do? You can do B-roll, reels, okay? You can do green screen. You can do fucking notes app. You can do a split screen, Miro. You can do a fucking chalkboard. You can do like a candid style at the gym candid, where you have somebody else recording you. Do you see this? I just want you to talk about diet and training in a bunch of different ways. That's all I want you to do. I just want you to test the best visual format. Maybe you'll find that the gym format for you is the one that works best. B-roll is shit, this one's shit, but guess what? You'll have to go through this. It's not that your content doesn't work. Nail down your messaging. What are the two biggest pain points to talk about? The two biggest things, core messaging that you want to talk about, and then find the right visual format. Okay? Now the structure for a CTA driven reel, okay, depending on it, you have on text hook, okay, on screen hook, okay? On screen hook, and you have the actual hook. Then it's CTA, and then it's value. That's it. That's all I want you to do. Let's do the example. What's the hook? The on-screen hook, okay? There's the on-screen hook. Then I want you to have captions, okay? In here, I want you to have captions. Now, sometimes Instagram doesn't let you have captions, but you want to always have captions, okay? So you now know, on-screen hook, okay? Now, if you want an on-screen hook, you have to use something that works very well inside of your niche, okay? Now, for example, maybe something that works very well in your niche is something controversial. You know, if you're helping people lose weight, you can say you're fat right now because you don't drink enough water. That's a scroll stopping hook on screen, let's say. And then the hook is, it has nothing, and then you start the video. You don't say the hook again, you start the video. It has nothing to do with gym. It has nothing to do with your sleep. It has everything to do with water. That's the hook, boom. Comment hydration at the end of this video and I'll send you the exact framework that I share with my clients so they can always stay hydrated. Then the value. It has nothing to do with diet. It has nothing to do with training. You can talk about the value like this. You think right now that the biggest reason why you're not losing weight is because you're not doing enough cardio, but did you know it's actually related with water? Here are the 3 things that I would do if I had to lose weight today, just with water, for example, okay? I'm giving an example, okay? But do you see this? On-screen hook, have captions, have a fucking hook, have a CTA, and have value. Now guess what? Follows, what do you do with a follow? You do the same fucking thing with this, but except of doing a CTA, okay? You do a follow. Now these are very prominent, okay? Now for example, you can also have the CTA at the end, but I like to put it at the beginning because it gets people to take action right away. Because guess what? Most people won't sit through 45 seconds of your video, most people. So if you mention it in the first 10 seconds, there's a higher chance for them to comment, meaning there's a higher chance for you to get leads. Why would you not put it in the beginning? It makes total sense, okay? Boom. So you do the same thing. So you now understand that you need to reverse engineer your goal. You want calls, and the way you want to get calls is appointments. The way you want to get appointments is through convo to DMs, which you can get better at setting. But how do you even go about getting DMs? You can do, and even in the likes, you can reach out to people. But you want to create content that gets your specific ICP to comment a certain keyword, or you want them to follow you because of a specific pain point that you talked about in your messaging. Now, for example, we've now nailed down that your messaging is diet and training. For example, for me, my messaging is fucking appointments and acquisition. Those are only 2 things I talk about. In my content, in a reel, okay? If I tell you, comment, okay? If I tell you, comment YouTube, because I just filmed a 22-minute YouTube video of me breaking down exactly how to create content that actually gets you appointments. Well, guess what? I'm gonna attract people that want appointments, okay? I'm gonna attract people who are willing to watch a YouTube video, and I'm gonna track my fucking ICP. So I now reverse engineered how to get my ICP to get in my DMs. By what? By first providing value. Why? Because we understand that providing value is about the fucking animal kingdom. That people, even if you have the best food in the world and the animal needs the food, you know the animal has a need, they won't come to you because they're skeptical. So you now need to do that, okay? Now, what I want you to do after this video, literally do this. Write 1 CTA driven reel. I want everybody who watches this right now, just write 1 CTA driven reel, run it with 5 different, okay? CTA driven reel. Follow this exact framework for your specific audience. Remember, what is your messaging? Nail down your messaging, okay? And then what I want you to do is go on fucking trial reels and have 5 to 6 different versions and the only thing I want you to change is the on-text hook. That's it. That's it. CTA driven reel, CTA. The only thing I want you to change is the on-screen. One of these will be controversial. One of these will be curiosity, right? One of these will be credibility title, okay? How I helped, whatever, etc. I just want you to change the on-screen hook. And I guarantee you that if you follow this framework, you will get inbound, you'll get people who comment that specific pain point. I promise you. And guess what? Your best performing reels, you can then put money behind it. Imagine the reels gets 100 comments, okay? Or 50 comments. If you now put money behind that reel, okay? Guess what's gonna happen? Well, you're gonna reach out to more people, but you first need to prove that that reel actually works, because if you do a reel and it gets 0 comments, if you put money behind it, it's most likely gonna keep getting 0 comments. So you first need to find the winning formula, and then you put money behind it. Does this make sense? Now, I help my clients implement this exact system, ideation, formats, fucking planning, and even when it comes down to communication and scripting, and even tracking and KPIs, so you know exactly what to look at. For example, how do you know if you're supposed to look at? How do you know that you need to work on hooks. How do you know you need to work on CTA at the beginning versus the end? You need to track your data. If you want my help, one-on-one, now what I'll do is this. If you're watching this video and you probably have this specific pain point, I am willing to hop on a 30-minute call with you, okay? Below this video, okay, you're watching this video right now. Below this video, there is a Calendly link. I want you to go book this call, okay? And in this call, what we're gonna talk about is how you're gonna make the next 5 reels targeted to your specific ICP. I will help you do this, okay? Now, at the end of that call, there's 2 options. You're either gonna want, I'm gonna provide so much value, you're gonna wanna pay me money and work with me. I have to be upfront, right? This is a business, I have to be upfront. It's either gonna be that, or you're just gonna go on about your day doing the 5 reels, and I'll have helped you. And you'll have gained something from a conversation with me. So if you want my help, book a link below or DM me on Instagram, DM me audit on Instagram, or just book a link below and we can chat. Even if we chat in the DMs, I guarantee you, I can help you. I can give you one fucking tip on what to do. And we can talk about it on a call. Now, I know this was super valuable for you. I want you to implement this and I guarantee you it's gonna completely change the way that you approach content. See you guys in the next one.